Alright, so this video is going out to Aiden Fleming, my #1 Cub Cadet fan, who also has the same exact tractor, and I know he's been anxious to see what's been going on. And as I sit here drinking my potent potable out of my Dragon cup donated by one of our viewers, Laura from Sanford, thank you for the cup, appreciate it. And behind me, behold, there it is. The electrically articulated sleeve hitch is on. And in phase 1, that is what I was set out to do. And the next phase will be replacing the tires and dropping the mower deck. We're going to put some agricultural tires on there. So I guess you're anxious to have a closer look at it. Let's have a look-see. Shut up, bird. Alright, here we are at the business end of the tractor. And I'll zoom in just a little bit. And you can see the construction of the sleeve hitch. It's very thick, good welds. This is a Thompson articulator on here. It's an American-made articulator motor. It has 500 pounds of push or pull on it. And this is the Brinley box blade that's just bleeding into the picture. And right now the wiring is still not quite figured out yet, but I'll move up to the front of it and I'll show you probably where the switch is going to go. So basically right now I've got the wire just kind of hanging on it, and I've been working out the position for mounting the switch, and it's most likely going to be somewhere around here. Reason being that when I reach for the steering wheel, I find myself I'm right-handed and I'm always leaning to the back to look at the blade behind me to see where it is. And this hand position seems to be ideal for the switch, so that's probably where it's going to go. Now the sleeve hitch has 2 modes on it. Right now it's in float mode, or if I lower it, it does have some ground force applying, but not all the way. And you can see that it's wanting to lift the rear end of the tractor up. So basically what this lets the implement do is just float along the ground. So right now the implement is all the way down. I'll show you this from another shot. Now you can see the implement is down and it still has a range of motion where it's not actually doing anything, and the implement can just float along the ground. This is ideal right now for scraping, as I don't have the traction yet. But if you lift it up, it will lift it all the way to the up position. Now in order to put it into the fixed position, it's not that difficult to do. First we lower the implement so it's flush to the ground, and that gives us a little bit of slack here. And at this point you would simply remove this pin. Careful not to lose the spacers on it. And what we're going to do now is extend the arm so it can reach into the holes down here. So we're just going to give it just a little bit of extension. Alright, we'll see if that's enough for it. And that looks like it's about right. We'll give it a shot. Alright. Now we're through there. This is not something you'd adjust often, so it's a little bit of a pain, but not too much. Pin through, and now for the last part. Alright, once it's in, put the washer on the other side, re-engage the pin, and there we have it. Now the fact that it taps out, but it does give a little bit of lift to the back end of the tractor, means that this is one heavy tractor. In fact, with all this attached to it, we're close to half ton now. But it definitely, you can see the force on it. Now in this range, it also lifts the implement much higher, as you can see. We'll show that from a different angle as well. Okay, so from this angle you can see the range of motion. And as you can see, it lifts the implement much higher in the fixed position. This would be ideal for something like a plow or any kind of ground engaging implement, or when using the blade to scrape off areas. This would allow you to dig in, and it'll keep that force on there. So with this, you'd have to regulate the pressure manually by flipping the switch. I can do this all day long. As you can see, in the solid position, you're able to dig down, but as you saw numerous times, it's going to have traction issues. I mean, I wasn't actually trying to get something done here, I was just trying to fool around with it. But as soon as you start digging in, of course, it's lifting up on it, so that's where the weight comes in, being added on, and of course having the bucket up front will help with this. So we're going to now switch back to the float position, which is ideal for the grading work, and you're going to see what a nice job it does with that. Okay, as you can see, we're back to the float position, and it's a lot quicker doing that because you've got a lot of play in between here to line it up versus having to get it exactly spot on. So a lot easier to go back to float than it is to go the other way around. Alright, so that was just a demonstration of how the blade works. I probably made it worse and screwed it up. I had it on the way to being smooth, but I just wanted to show you the pushing and pulling, and I have to have a very feather touch with the controls because a little bit too much downforce and the tractor starts spinning out. Part of phase 2 is going to be, we're going to be adding the weight brackets that came with the hitch. You can have a 42-pound suitcase on either side, so we're going to start with the weights on that, and then of course we'll be adding some weight to the front with the loader. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and for a final outro I'll just get a couple of cell phone shots. I don't have a GoPro mount handy, so I'll just be holding the cell phone and you'll kind of get to see it from the operator's view in that fashion. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and the next one's coming up real soon, and I'm going to have one out about the pool, the $600 pool deal I got, which turns out to be about a $2,000 pool. So that's coming up on, I don't know, tomorrow, whenever I can get to it. I just wanted to get this out. This thing's fun, and I can't wait to finish this thing. So hope you enjoyed this, and there'll be a lot more of this stuff to come. Thanks for watching.